story?
You know, it's been about 2.5 years since we sat down for the first time and had an internal sort of Marvel discussion. Where do we take Thor next? And we'd made Thor and we'd made the Avengers, and there were a couple of things. We wanted to take Jane to Asgard. We wanted to see more of Asgard, and we wanted Thor to be put in a position where he needed to ask his brother for help. His brother, who's, of course, the main villain in Avengers, he's now going to team up with. And the question is, can he trust him? That was sort of the creative kernel that has now popped into this feature. We were looking early on for another director. Kenneth Branagh did a spectacular job for us on the first Thor, was going off to other things. And I decided to look into the world of TV. Spectacular programming was happening in television. Mad Men, Boardwalk Empire, Game of Thrones. And one name kept popping up on all those shows, and it was Alan Taylor. And we reached out to him, and he was interested, and thankfully, he's now delivered this spectacular movie for us. The first Thor film took place in Asgard, in Thor's homeworld, and in New Mexico on Earth. And we knew we were going to go to Asgard again and some of the other 9 realms, but we wanted Earth to play a different kind of role in this, a more urban role, a more center role around the globe, and there was no better place than London. We were also going to produce the film in London, and therefore it was perfect. You know, this is the 3rd time that we're lucky enough to have Chris Hemsworth play Thor, and I think you're going to see a slightly more mature Thor, less arrogant, less brash, but equally powerful and equally dynamic. And his scenes in this movie with Natalie Portman, with Tom Hiddleston, with Anthony Hopkins are spectacular. The biggest challenge in making Thor: The Dark World was to make it as realistic as possible. And when you have a movie that takes place on so many other planets, on so many other worlds, it's difficult to make that feel real. We did it by shooting in real locations, practical locations. We went to Iceland, we went to Norway. And what you see in this movie for The Dark World, for Asgard, all have a basis in reality, which give it this amazing look, which is what our director Alan Taylor was able to bring to it. I think the fans are going to find many twists and turns in this film. Just when you think you can pin Loki down, he surprises you. Just when you think you know what Thor's going to do, he surprises you. And hopefully the whole movie is going to surprise people.